Hello everyone, welcome back to my gaming channel, the K-Rool Calamity. This is a actual normal video for this channel. I meant to remake this actually. This is a very late video. This should have been remade a long time ago. This should have been made years ago. But, you know what? We're going to remake this video now. We're going to go down the memory lane of Smash 4. Which is Smash 4 on the 3DS/Wii U. And we're going to take a look at the best character in that game. A character that I actually mained for a long time until I switched over to Cloud in Smash 4. I stopped maining Bayo in Smash 4 because they nerfed her twice. But we'll get to that when we get to that, because we're going to talk about Bayonetta in this video. So how did one character destroy an entire game? Well, we're going to look at that right now. From tournaments, from gameplay, to all of that. How did she do it? We're going to look at that today. And link to the original video is going to be in the description of this. But yes, this is a normal video that should be on this channel. No more of these commentary, videos of not gaming stuff. Stuff like this is what should be on this channel, and, it's what's going to be on this channel moving forward. I'm sorry that you guys had to see the 2 uploads previously today that were uploaded, but I didn't have a choice of where else to put them, and they're not going on the main channel because the main channel is for other stuff, so. But this is a normal video for a channel like this. How one character broke a game. And we're going to also be looking at Steve in Ultimate, but that's another story because I actually still main him. I main Steve now. I stopped maining King K. Rool after I got in a bit of practice with Steve. Because Steve is just better, obviously. With the juggles, the down air, the TNT, the minecart, the elytro, all of it. Steve's recovery does sometimes mess me up, but it's just a form of getting used to. I mean, you have the blocks, you have the... But we'll talk about that when we get to Steve's video. This is a Bayonetta from Smash 4 video. Because Ultimate, they nerfed Bayonetta to hell, so she couldn't be broken like this again. But without further ado, let's look at how Bayonetta broke Smash 4. Let's do it. This is a normal video for this channel.
I don't know. I was stalling for time.
All right. Now I really understand why this is the last Evo. Last Evo was Smash 4. I mean, I didn't really get it.
That was probably the worst grand finals in Evo history. From the audience, it looked like 2 friends making a mockery of the biggest tournament of the year.
No, not like that. Yes,
the homie stop.
But if you knew the backstory, you knew that it was the culmination of years of hate being thrown at those 2 players. But not because they talked trash or because they were community villains. They were hated because they played Bayonetta.
Yeah, this is how a character... Bayonetta in Smash 4 was so hated. If you mained her, you were just hated by everybody. You literally were hated by the whole world. You could not look out, at the Smash community. You could not. You were just hated by the world. Ironically, I'm hated by the world, and I main Steve. I don't even main Bayo anymore. I main Steve in Ultimate, and I main Cloud in Smash 4, so... I guess... I main Olimar in Brawl, so I guess that's something. I mean Marth in Melee, so that's something. I don't know. Nobody hates those characters, really. In 64, I mean... Who do I main 64? I think Pikachu in 64, I mean. I used to main, a bunch. I switched in 64, to be honest, because 64 is a game. There's, not many characters, and it's old, but I think I main Pikachu just because Thunder kills so early. I don't know.
They picked a top tier because they wanted to win. Instead, their character tore the community apart. Bayonetta is arguably the most hated character in any Smash game. But the irony is that fans actually voted for her to be in the game.
We've been asking for your opinion on the Super Smash Bros. Fighter Battle.
Okay, so I'm going to give you guys some context on this, right? Apparently, that's not exactly what happened. In the Fighters Pass, actually, I believe it was Sora from Kingdom Hearts who actually won. But because Sakurai couldn't get Sora in at the time, Sora's in now, Ultimate, Sora is in the game, but in Smash 4 they couldn't get Sora in at the time, so I'm pretty sure they just made it look like Bayo won when it was Sora who won. I'm pretty sure that's how it went. Because I'm pretty sure Sakurai said in the direct that he did, when Sora came out, that Sora actually won Smash 4's ballot, but they put Bayonetta instead of Sora because Sora couldn't be in at the time because something to do with Disney. Yeah, it was a whole thing. Getting Sora in Ultimate was a big deal. Getting Steve in there was a big deal, but Sora, yeah, that was a whole other big deal.
And Bayonetta was the overall #1 choice worldwide.
A few months after winning the vote, Bayonetta finally arrived in Smash, and people were pretty excited.
I can't fucking believe it! No way! Fuck!
Really? No, it's Bayo.
Is that all you've got?
But that excitement was quickly replaced with horror, as the community realized just what the character was capable of.
I'll give you credit. Oh! That's it. He's dead.
That was literally just, I believe, either up air or up tilt. I can't tell in the hit boxes because they're screaming over top of the gameplay. But I believe that's either up air or up tilt comboing into different aerials. It's different aerials comboing into each other because Bayo can literally chain attacks together so well in Smash 4 when she was pre-patched. Meaning when she didn't have the nerfs. Even with the nerfs, they didn't do much. She could still chain you across the screen. Not as good as Steve, but still.
Oh, take that, Ethan! No! Take that, Ethan! No way! No way! Did you guys see that? Did you guys see that?
It looks like the shift in power is coming back into Zero's corner, even with all this ridiculous shield pressure. Wow, catches that side B. Oh, we're all going on a ride! Down he goes! From the brink of death!
Bayonetta shot up to the top of pretty much everyone's Smash 4 tier list. It was clear very early on that she was broken.
He picked it up on release, played it for a few days, and then proceeded to beat everyone in Japan in a huge tournament. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Not even Steve can do that. It's funny because Steve literally, like... Why am I talking about Steve? This ain't a Steve video. Yeah, Bayo was really good. Very broken. You couldn't really even hit her because of Witch Time. Because Witch Time is a move that just destroyed everybody. Even hitting her. Because it would slow the game down where you couldn't do anything and then you just get comboed by like one side beat or one up tilt or one anything that the Bayonetta player wants to do, and then GG will play.
Player, amazing. But no character in the whole series has ever been that easy and successful to literally pick up in a few days and play it at a tournament of that caliber and just win like that.
Smash 4 had already seen its fair share of powerful, top-tier characters, but Bayonetta was a cut above. She was fast, had incredible recovery, and her unique mechanic, Witch Time, made it extremely risky to actually attack her. But what made Bayonetta truly broken was that she had a one-touch kill combo from pretty much anywhere on screen.
The clock make them come to you. Put the screws to... Oh my lord! Is this how it is over? It is over! Salem snatches victory from the claw of defeat!
She had amazing offense and defense, and could confirm her kill combos from almost anywhere on screen. She had almost no weaknesses.
In my opinion, Bayonetta carried.
Yeah, Bayo carries players hard in Smash 4. Like, Meta Knight in Brawl, he never got nerfed, but he didn't carry players like this. You could still hit Meta Knight, you could still kill him with infinites, you could still chain grab him. But there was none of that in Smash 4.
very easy to use, and if you execute everything properly, the opponent just can't escape anything.
So everyone hated Bayonetta pretty much instantly, but that didn't stop anyone from playing her. From pros to casuals, everyone wanted a free win, so they picked Bayonetta.
I don't know why people are so mad about Bayonetta. Look, I paid $5.99, I practiced for a week, I deserve to be rewarded for my dedication.
Bayonetta was clearly too strong, so Nintendo hit her with the Nerf hammer in 2016. And for a while, people thought these nerfs actually worked.
We saw a very big nerf common to Bayonetta actually within the recent patches, and a lot of people actually dropped her from being possibly or the best character in the game to sometimes even saying that she's not even top 10 or top 20. Like that was the level of change of opinion that some people had regarding Bayonetta.
In the end, the nerfs didn't really amount to much. Sure, it was harder for a casual player to zero to death you, but pros could still kill you for breathing in their general direction. She was still the best character in the game, and no one else could really compete.
Wow.
Oh my.
Are you serious? Bayonetta. Like, yeah, that character is just ridiculous sometimes.
Fast forward to 2018, a year and a half after her last nerf, and Bayonetta was still dominating tournaments. The patches had long since stopped. There was no more hope for further nerfs.
Salem! No way, dude! Oh my god, it happened again!
Player?
Yeah, like, this is how broken this character is. You cannot do anything against, like, a pro playing her. If you know the strings, you know the chain attacks, you know how to get the aerials going, you know how to chain side B into... Like, they made side B an ultimate, where if you hit a shield with it, you stop... Like, it stops going or something like that, where you can't combo like in Smash 4. Smash 4, it didn't have that capability. It just kept going.
We're so frustrated by Bayonetta that some regions even considered banning her. And while that didn't necessarily amount to much, people still needed to get their rage out.
I fucking hate this character!
And who better to take their rage out on than Bayonetta players?
And like during tournaments itself, you get people in the crowd or in the stands, you know, not definitely cheering for the other character that's not Bayonetta. Happens a lot. I've been in tournaments where I've seen, you know, people not shake people's hands if they, you know, got zeroed to death by Bayonetta or they got mad.
It didn't matter if you were new to the scene or an established pro. Anyone who picked Bayonetta got slammed.
It looked like he was about to be able to live it. Unfortunately for him, what a Captain Zack!
Oh. Whoa.
Oh! Look, if you're gonna be the villain, you might as well play the part, bro.
It's ridiculous from the outside looking in, but it really did happen. In most scenes, picking a top tier is just how you win. But there were a ton of factors at work. Between declining viewership and lower character diversity, Bayonetta players were scapegoats, and people took their rage out on them.
Salem almost won. He got all the way to grand finals.
It's actually funny because people don't talk about this, but they actually banned Steve, or wanted to ban Steve. I'm unsure if he's perma-banned or if he's just banned in some regions or banned whatever. But people ban Steve for being broken because of blocks, because you can plank under the stage, you can recover very easily with minecart side B and up B and blocks and TNT. You can do so many things with Steve that they ban him. I'm pretty sure. I don't know, but they didn't ban Bale from... They talked about it, but I don't think they ever did. Same thing with Meta Knight. Meta Knight wanted to be banned, but there was like... There was one community... I forget the name of it, but they wanted to ban Meta Knight. But the Japan players wouldn't come over to the US, I believe, until Meta Knight was not banned, so they didn't ban Meta Knight because of that. But they'll ban Steve. Even though Steve, he's easier to play than Bayo, kind of. But not really, because you have to watch like what tools you get, or what equipment you get. Like, you have to watch if you get diamond tools, or iron, or gold, or even though gold appears outside of the meter, you have to watch with iron because you can do iron blocks. You have to watch with diamond because you could have diamond tools, and diamond tools are just really broken because up tilt you can just break someone's shield with like 2 or 3 hits with that axe. It's kind of stupid that Steve is as good as he is, but I main him, so I can't be talking because I do main him. So.
He's carried by his character. Bayonetta's stupid. Nairo and Dabuz only got 13th, 17th. This is bullshit. How is this guy winning? I don't know how many of you guys know Brawl history, because if I've learned anything in the past month of casting, it's that a lot of people don't know what happened in Brawl. Salem has won in Apex. You guys know that, right? An international event featuring hundreds of players, the best players in the world.
And as Bayonetta mains kept picking up top placements, the community revved up their hate engine more and more. And at EVO 2018, that hate reached its peak.
I want to give a second chance in life because you might not find yourself with one. Captain Zach is electric in these open.
A little fire and fury right now. So is the crowd. They're playing with a little fire and fury as well.
Both MKLeo and Tweak, two of the best players in the world, couldn't attend EVO that year, which left the tournament with no clear favorite. Well, there was one favorite, Bayonetta.
One of these Bayonettas will be hitting the loser's bracket. One of these will face off against Captain Zach for yet another Bayonetta Ditto in the winner's final. We'll find out who it is.
Yeah. See, you don't find Steve Dittos much in tournament. You will not find many Steve Dittos. I've been in Steve Dittos before, though. It's kind of dumb watching them because you're just mining for like 10 fucking minutes. And then you just basically, whoever gets more diamond tools or whoever gets down air to connect first or whoever, like, you just win with Steve, pretty much, depending on that. Because you can make your opponent just run out of tools, run out of stuff. Because playing Steve it's literally like watching Minecraft, basically. Because you have the walls that you can use. You have so much stuff that you could just use. Like Steve has weaknesses. Well, except for when MLG is in play. MLG is a glitch that Steve has. I will explain MLG in the Steve video, but it's like another shield for Steve, basically. It's another shield where Steve can just get on the ground for free, where he doesn't actually take hit stun because of blocks, which is another reason why blocks are dumb, and blocks just keep you being able to land for free and just, yeah. And then Steve has the gliding thing like Meta Knight did in Brawl, except it's in his recovery, the Elytro, so it's like you can't. Steve is really good.
Right here, right now.
But Bayo is like, the fact that you can't even hit the character really, otherwise you're just kind of dead, because that's kind of what Witch Time did. Witch Time enabled Bayos to escape being damaged, really, and you could just combo off of it.
3 Bayonettas in top 8 in EVO that year, and 2 of them made it to the grand finals. Captain Zach versus Lima, Bayonetta versus Bayonetta. It was a match that almost no fan wanted to watch, and it was enough reason for most of them to just tune out.
There's always some boos, but most of the people that would boo just left. The crowd kind of dwindled down after that happened. Not even that happened, after that was decided for EVO.
From the start, the grand finals seemed a little bit off. See, the players were just kind of joking around with each other between games. It looked more like a friendly you'd see at a local than the grand finals was the biggest tournament in the world. When Captain Zach accidentally self-destructed, Lima gave him a homie stop.
Okay, so this was a very controversial thing. This was the reason that these players got hate. Hold on.
Lost a stock on purpose instead of taking the advantage in grand finals at EVO.
Alright, so you know how I feel about homie stocks. Right here, Lima can just play hard.
Yeah, so basically, a homie stock, as they call them, is if the other player dies, you die on purpose. You lose a stock on purpose, basically. I don't really like doing that. I've never actually liked homie stocks. I think it's a dumb way just to be, like, nice. I think homie stocks are a waste of time. I think you should just... But yeah, I think Lima right here, like, I think it's HBox saying this, I believe, because his voice is more identical than a lot of them. But I think that Lima should have just played hard right here, took the advantage, played hard, got his win, and he wouldn't have gotten half the nonsense that he got from this. Because the reason he got what he got is because he self-destructed he self-destructed on purpose rather than taking the win in grand finals. Because it's Bayo versus Bayo. It's not impressive already. But the fact that you're homie stalking is just... Homie stalking, in my opinion, is literally just a waste of time. It's not worth the trouble.
Get the win, and no one gives them even 1% of the shit that they got for what happened. If you just played it out right here and just played it in one, the people would, you know, they would moan about Bayonetta, but you know, they always moan about Bayonetta. It would just be another tournament. But the fact that Lima went for the homie stock here is kind of what began this whole disaster.
But for the most part, they were actually playing the game until this happened.
I don't know, I was stalling for time.
I really understand why this is the last Evo. Last Evo was Smash 4. I mean, I really get it.
They just sat there, charging Bayonetta's bullets and doing nothing for almost 2 minutes. The only reason they even started to play again was because Bear, one of Evo's TOs, stepped in to save the day.
Oh, dang! Yo, Bear came up there with the rules.
Wow.
Yo, look, let's go, Bear.
Yeah, they were stalling. They were holding the neutral B, Bale's bullets. It's not like Steve's neutral B where you actually get more resources, so you're technically playing the game even though you're holding a button. They're just standing there, charging the bullets. Because Bale's bullets in Ultimate will go off after you hold B for a certain amount of time now. That's not the case in Smash 4. They can just continuously charge. But yeah, these two were charging the bullets for almost 2 minutes, which is gameplay wise, it's called stalling. And stalling is wasting time, and if you waste time in tournament, then you can get disqualified, or you can get something. You can get something for it. I'm pretty sure there is something against stalling.
So basically,
Hey.
Since when? Stupid ads.
they held the B button down. And the rules are, if you're stalling and you don't continue to match after being warned, they both got disqualified. So that was the first yellow card I actually gave in a tournament.
Okay, yeah, so the rules are, if you stall like that and you don't move after being warned, yeah, you both get disqualified, I guess, if they're both doing it. If one person's doing it, well, actually, I don't think it matters because the other player could still hit them, I guess, so it's not, they can't really, but yeah, if they're stalling like that, then they both get outed. They get disqualified for breaking a rule of Smash, which is stalling, which you cannot do unless you're Steve. No, I'm just kidding. Well, I guess with Steve, it's not really stalling because you're technically playing the game, but you're just holding the B button, mining with the axe behind a wall and letting the other player come to you. I guess it's kind of stalling because you're... I don't know. That one's kind of iffy because... yeah, you're technically playing the game by getting more resources. But are you really playing the game because you're going and just mining? You're just collecting. The gauge of Steve's tools is just filling up. So is it really? I guess it's playing with Steve though, because you can. You're waiting for the other player to break down the wall so you can just up tilt them with Steve or hit them with the axe, back air, or down air with anvil or whatever. I guess it's not stalling.
I explained to him after, that's actually stalling. It's against the rules for all games at EVO. And if they continued without warning, then the winner would have been the person that got third place.
To say the Smash 4 community was unhappy with this grand finals was an understatement. They were furious.
Oh yeah.
Imagine if I did that. If I did that in Melee. Me and YouTube King, I guess. Oh, dude, what would have happened? I would have gotten shot. I think I wouldn't be here right now.
You could see it as just a dumb stunt done by two teenagers who have since grown up and learned from their mistakes. But that didn't stop people from going in. People accused them of ruining EVO, which was Smash 4's biggest and arguably last major tournament before getting replaced by its successor. In many people's minds, Smash 4's time in the mainstream spotlight ended with that grand final, which meant that, for most people, Bayonetta ruined the game's legacy. As the years went on, many of the high-profile Bayonetta mains retired from competitive Smash. It wasn't just that Smash 4 was dying, it was that they couldn't handle the hate that came with picking Bayonetta. And just a few months after EVO, Nintendo released Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, effectively killing Smash 4 forever. Bayonetta is not the same terror she was in Smash 4. Nintendo learned their lesson and reined her in. She's a shadow of her former self and brings up the lower middle of most tier lists. But Bayonetta will forever have her place in the pantheon of broken Smash characters. She destroyed an entire game, but more importantly, she almost ruined the lives of the people who played her. And no amount of nerfs can ever undo that kind of damage.
Thanks for watching. If you want...
Yeah, that's how bad Bayo was. People hated stalling. People hated how Bayo played. People hated Smash 4 for the reason that Bayo broke the game. And she still does. You could still pick Bayo in Smash 4 even with the nerfs and just win if you know what you're doing. You chain the attacks together properly in the right setup, or you get the right setup with aerials or whatever, and you're just GG will play. I guess the same thing. Yeah, I'll do the Steve video next because the Steve video is going to be longer than this. So I'm going to upload this. Link will be in the description to the original video if you guys want to watch this original video from these guys where they explain over my dumb commentary. I haven't played Smash 4 in a while, to be fair. I should probably get back into Smash 4, but, like, I haven't touched it. Because the game is kind of... meh. Yeah, I'm going to upload this, and then... Yeah.